Hello, welcome to Influence, the show all about the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences here at Mississippi State University. I'm your host for today, Daryl Sparks, Associate Dean in the college. February is Black History Month, so for this episode, we're highlighting two of our outstanding minority students that both serve on our college's Diversity Council. First up is Miss Maya Dixon, an undergraduate in our college. Welcome, Maya, to Influence. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Dr. Sparks. Hi guys, my name is Maya Louise Dixon. I'm a senior animal and dairy science / biological science double major from Biloxi, Mississippi, and I am so happy to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. Now, I think at some point you were also spent time in Chicago, is that correct?
Yes. Oh, I was actually born in Chicago, and I moved down to the coast when I was about 10 years old, me and my family, and that's when things kind of changed for me, everything there, and I figured out that I wanted to major in ag, and I had a love for ag and things like that.
So what are some of your favorite classes as a student so far at Mississippi State?
So I really have enjoyed physiology of reproduction. That's like a class where we actually get out there with the cows and we go and we try to palpate them and do artificial insemination and things like that. Another class that I'm really starting to enjoy that I actually just started is parasitology, which is about parasites and the different things that you can get when you're an adult or as a human or anything. So that class has also been quite interesting as well, and I'm excited to see what it has in store for this semester.
Fantastic. Now, one of the organizations you're very heavily involved with is Manners. So could you please tell us what exactly does Manners stand for, and what are some of the activities that Manners does to promote underrepresented groups into agriculture?
Yes, absolutely. Manners stands for Minorities in Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Related Sciences. And the mission of Manners is basically to promote any academic advancement by empowering all minorities, and we do just that. We like to strive, so what we do is we help students build their portfolios, whether it's building your resume or doing mock interviews or trying to figure out how to network within your field and things like that. We participate in such things like national conferences where they have like large career expos, which is actually going to be this semester at the end of the semester, April time, where we go and we just like talk to different companies, whether it's Merck, John Deere, Zoetis. All these companies are there just helping students network and gain connections, get jobs, internships. They offer so many scholarships. It's a wonderful, beneficial organization.
And I think at last spring's meeting in Jacksonville, you won a scholarship.
I did, yes. I won the Manners
right.
Gold Scholarship. It actually paid for my entire registration and gave me $1,000 on top of that. It was amazing. And I've actually just got accepted into the Animal Health and Care Academy that they have there.
That's great. Fantastic.
And with that program, you just get a mentor, and they also pay for your registration at the national conference. And I'll be going to a conference next week in Atlanta, the IPPP, which stands for International Production and Processing Expo. And I'm excited to see what we're going to do there. I'm not really sure, but I see there's a lot of things on the schedule, like getting to meet with your mentor and then taking around to Merck and then just seeing the different places that they have there.
Great.
Yes, it's amazing.
Now, one of the things that's always impressed me about Manners is the level of professionalism of its members. So how has that impacted you personally?
Yes, well, when I first came to Mississippi State, I'm not gonna lie, I was very, I don't like to say lost, but I kind of got here and I was kind of in my shell, I guess. I'm not really an introvert, but when I first get into new places, my adjustment process is a little bit more slower and difficult for than most people. And Manners really brought that out of me. They showed me that I have a home and a family here. Of course, Mississippi State does that itself, but when you first get here, you don't really know anything, and finding that organization has really, really enhanced me as a leader. As soon as I joined it, they told me to run for a role, and I did for vice president, and I got it, surprisingly, and that alone just enabled me to be able to stand in front of people and speak like I'm here now, and I'm just more comfortable and just feel more lively to be able to do stuff like this because of Manners.
That's fantastic. And now you're president. So what advice would you have for an underrepresented student interested in pursuing studies at Mississippi State University? What words of wisdom would you share with them?
Definitely to never doubt yourself, because I'm a huge doubter, and I actually doubted coming to Mississippi State because I didn't feel like I would be substantial enough to be able to do the classes and get along with people and find where I would fit in here. But I should have never doubted myself, and that's what I want to tell students and any minority or any student who wants to come in here. Like, don't doubt yourself. Always go with something with a purpose. Know
Absolutely.
your why. Know the
Absolutely.
reason why you want to do it and how you're going to go in there and do it. And that's a big thing that you want to do with anything that you come in contact with.
Very sage advice. So last question, what is your favorite place on campus and why?
My absolutely favorite place would have to be Davis Wade. It's
Davis
just something
Wade.
about that stadium. Anytime
Absolutely.
you walk in that stadium, you just feel at home.
That's right.
The cowbells ringing. I love Davis
Absolutely.
Wade Stadium. You can't go wrong with it. You can't.
100%. I agree. I agree. Well, Mai, thank you so much for
Thank
being here with
you.
us today. And our next guest is going to be a graduate student within the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. So please stay tuned for that.
Think you know ag? Think again.
We are creative.
We protect the environment.
We prepare for careers in medicine and conduct research.
We empower people and communities.
We are technology driven.
And we feed and clothe the world. We are the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at Mississippi State University.
Welcome back to Influence. Our next guest is Ms. Urita Agana. She is a graduate student pursuing her Master's of Science degree in Agricultural Life Sciences with a concentration in biochemistry. So welcome, Urita, to Influence. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much for having me here this morning. Like he said, my name is Urita Agana and I'm from West Africa, Ghana. I actually came here for my dad's graduation, and after that he got a job here, so we just stayed, and I went to Starkville High, and then I decided to come to MSU for my bachelor's in biochemistry, and now I'm working towards my master's in biochemistry as well.
Now, what kind of research area are you focused in? I think it has to do with bee research, is that correct?
Yes, and I actually love it. So I'm actually working with Dr. Priya Basu in the entomology department, and my research focuses on the impact of realistic pesticide exposure and poor nutrition on honeybee physiology and gut microbiome. It's actually very interesting that I ended up working with insects because my dad has always been big on wanting me to do entomology. And he definitely has an influence on me wanting to go into research a lot. I've always wanted to do that, but just watching him do that kind of pushed me more towards like pursuing that career, but not necessarily insect related, but I want to go more towards health. But he's actually excited that I'm doing that, and I have to keep reminding him I am not an entomologist, I'm a biochemist,
Right.
but yeah, but anyway.
I was going to ask you about your dad, because your story is kind of unique in that you're pursuing a career in research now, and your dad is an internationally acclaimed scientist with our Mississippi Agriculture and Forestry Experiment Station, Dr. George Awuni. So doing research in Ghana, in country with soybean and Feed the Future Innovation Laboratory. So it sounds like he has definitely impacted you to follow in a career of research. Do you ever see yourself collaborating with him down the road, potentially? That'd be a really neat story, I think.
As of right now, I don't think so, because I'm really wanting to go more towards infectious disease routes. Although I'm working with insect, I do talk to him about different things, like how pesticide affects insects. And since he worked mostly with soybean, it's kind of cool to just get ideas from him. And also because honeybees do rely on soybeans for nectar and stuff, it's a good thing to talk to him with those and get insight on when soybeans bloom, just things like that. But I don't really think so, but I do love like learning from him and asking him questions about insects in general, and him just talking to me about research overall. It's actually pretty cool because in my family, my siblings, both of them are moving more towards finance, and I'm like the only person that is kind of like,
You're doing science.
yeah, in the science. So
That's great.
he's always like I'm the only person like following his footsteps. So, but yeah.
So you did your undergraduate in biochemistry, and now you're doing a graduate degree here at MSU. One of the things we really like for our students to develop is that professional network, people that they can rely on for not only recommendation letters, but also leads on jobs, career opportunities down the road. So what have you done as a student here at MSU to cultivate that network?
Definitely connecting with students. I mean, students and also professors, heavy on professors. Because during my undergrad, I got into research because I really knew I wanted to pursue that career. And being able to talk to different professors in the biochemistry department gave me the opportunity to work in a lot of professors' lab, like Dr. King, Dr. Popescu. They just kind of helped me build the techniques I needed to go into grad school. And even now in grad school, I still connect with other researchers by going to conferences. I talk to people that do the same, have the same interest of research that I do, and also just reading papers and also working with other professors and just like having to work on other projects that can help me become
So
better.
similar to what I asked Maya then, what advice would you have for people interested in pursuing research? What words of wisdom would you have?
I would just say just do it. Do not doubt yourself. I definitely doubt myself a lot, even till today, but I have to tell myself I need to let that go.
That's right.
But always go for it and believe in yourself, and just, if you put your mind to something, you always do it. And I think just do it. You never know until you try it. So just go with it and like push yourself, and you definitely come out on top.
Very
and
good.
don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask, and
That's right.
it'll all work out.
So last question for today, what is your favorite location on campus and why?
Dorman.
Dorman Hall? Okay.
Yes. Mostly the fourth floor.
Fourth floor,
because
okay.
I think Dorman definitely made me. I watched my dad in Dorman with his research. I ended up doing research there, and I'm
Okay.
still doing
So you
research
kinda grew
there.
up in there.
Yeah.
Very good.
The lab is basically where I belong, and Dorman fourth floor is definitely home. You can lock me there with food, and I'll be good. But
Very
yes.
good. Very good. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Arita. And thank you all for joining us today on this episode of Influence. We hope to see you next time.